All right. All right, welcome. So today is TTP Podcast Season 2, Episode 4. Well, sadly, Purpose is remodeling his bathroom, so he won't be here today. But we still have Hunter here, and Hunter will be the guest host playing all the roles tonight, because it's only me and him today. so so we'll see how this goes. But so welcome again. Cheers again. Our captive studio honest, which is also a nice soundboard. Welcome, Hunter, to the stream.
What a lovely audience.
It's a very lovely audience. It's a very lovely audience. He's like,
I love you.
see, they love you. See there. So, all right. So the podcast usually starts with an update of where have you been the last month, what's been going on, what's been happening. I'm trying to remember. It's always when this question comes at the beginning. I always like, what did I been doing? It's always a thing.
Forget that you existed for the last month.
Yeah, the other listener for the last month I did. Man, I don't know where the vacation was before or after. No, it was in the beginning of April, right? Where was the vacation? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was beginning of April. So we went back to. But I think I did a recap on the streams, but we went back to Martha's Vineyard. Everyone says like who's Martha and who's his vineyard? It's an actual island. I don't know if you're familiar with Martha's Vineyard, Hunter, at all, or
I've heard of it. I know it's fancy.
you only get there by ferry. That's the only way you get there. And man, ferry's not cheap. If you have to take your car on the ferry, it's like $100 around one way to get onto the island. Yeah, pretty much. There's not much on the island. I mean, like the island's famous for where Jaws was filmed. Like some of the scenes are filmed there. It's a very remote area, so like if you, we did a helicopter tour the last time, and the helicopter tour, literally went around the island. You could see all the houses were like where the houses were people were building. But then of course, getting materials to the island, you have to get it on the ferry. So it would take a while to build an actual house there. But they're really nice. They're really big. I was like picturing like that's a really big house. That's a really big house. It reminds me, I need to go for my photos. Yeah.
On the northeast coast, right?
Yeah, like it's like west of Long Island, but on the south coast of Massachusetts.
Okay.
So it's in
So
that
do
general.
they have to worry about like hurricanes and such?
I don't know. Do you get many hurricanes in that area of New York?
I think every
and
once in a
such?
while, like the city will get hit with some sort of like tropical storm. But luckily, where I'm at, we don't really get much bad weather except snow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're like it's knowing that you're at upstate New York, right?
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah.
We get blasted sometimes.
Yeah, because you're that close to Canada, right? Kind of
Yep,
like
and
yeah.
being on Lake Erie,
Oh yeah, that
we
would do
get
it.
like lake effect snow.
Oh yeah, that would do it. But yeah, I think that's the only place where I also got the two tattoos, which are pretty. Yeah, just a little dry, but as you know, it's a little dry. I need lotion. But yeah, see the Boba Fett has a pinup model, and then like
Yeah, I like that one.
the tiny dinosaur over here. So yeah, still getting more. And it was good to meet my tattoo artist because I only see her like once a year, more or less. So it was like the annual trip because like I guess Martha's Vineyard is close to them, but my brother-in-law knows a friend there. But now since my nephew's going to high school next year, the spring break doesn't align, so it might be like a summer vacation this time. So we'll see. But yeah, that was mostly been work, and then just kind of streaming, still doing the kick thing and everything, and still trying to, to make a name of it here. But yeah. But what have you been up to? What have you been doing? Give us. Who are you first? Let's start there.
Who am I? That's a
Yeah.
great question.
Yeah.
I am well, I work in insurance, and that's about it. No, I play games. I like to bother people while they stream. That's pretty much my extent on the Kick and the Twitch these days.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a shot, but life likes to interrupt things like that, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna find time again to maybe go back stream.
I would like to. I had a good time.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, Kick is starting to be better get in the ground floor Kick, more or less, you know.
Yeah, your Kick seems to be going really well for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh. Yeah, definitely. It's just like I think it's just like I feel like it's more of like visibility because you know like a lot of people are lurking, but then Twitch will never know unless you know they're lurking. You'd be like one viewer, and you're like, you never know someone's there. But I mean, you know, like so only a good 15 viewers, but you know, people might be
Yeah,
lurking,
Twitch
people
has been
like that.
doing pretty much everything they can to drive their
They're small creators.
streamers away.
That is very true. I think like even the 50-50 sub split and everything, and then even with the like Kick still getting I have not personally seen a follow bot, but I've seen some of my friends' streams where like a bot comes in and just like you know doing some like random message out there. Like one was like for viewer views and like send like a Discord link for some reason. But
Oh, that's how you know Kick's starting to get more popular.
yeah, exactly. More or less, yeah. But yeah, definitely if you ever make it back to Kick for sure. Hunter usually is a local staple on Sundays in Overwatch. So if you ever come by my channel, he'll be always here. Oh, when he's not here or when he has something else to do. But he tries to be here as much as he can. That's what that. So yeah.
I do my best to make it when I can.
Yeah. There's no obligation there. If it turns like I'm not doing anything with Sunday, I'll just like play random games. And you know, streamer backlog is real. Like you buy a game, then you stop playing it, and then you're like, I need to go back and finish this game. So that's usually the case.
One of the difficult things is like trying to make time for the games that you like build your brand on, so to speak, for streaming, and then you're like, but I want to play this game that's nobody in my viewership cares about, but I want to play it.
Yeah, I think that's another catch. Like, you know, people want to do variety, and I do a variety just to keep change it up. But there's sometimes when you do variety, you're like, people are like, what is this game? What is this about? And like, you know, like rare review base was like, nah. But I've been doing like more Escape from Tarkov, which I'm enjoying more. And then like Warzone DMZ, which is always depending on the group of people you're playing with. Then Fridays is still kind of a toss up. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do Fridays yet. I mean, I'm gonna do Jedi again tomorrow because like it's new and I want to try like you know. But you know, the big story again comes out, then I do it. But yeah, like it's like something like you know, like who wants to watch? I'm gonna get a clip from this later on from some people, but like Genshin Impact. Like did people stream that? I mean, like the story and nice and everything is good, but
feel like
I don't know.
Venus's like
spider
senses just kicked off.
Kicks on, yeah.
She's like, why did I just randomly get so angry?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's one example. Like I mean like people also stream like some games like I guess it depends on if you really like Warzone or Apex. Like you can get into watching someone play it over again because usually if they're entertaining, then yeah.
Like some of the games, like for me, I like to play brain dead games sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can play them for like hours on end. So if it's like a day, if it was like a stressful day at work and I just want to play like 8 hours of Brotato.
Yeah.
Like I don't think, you know, if I were a streamer, the viewers would want to watch Brotato for an extended period of time.
Oh, that's the game. Yeah, I hear you. It's kind of weird. Like, I mean, if you go in any category, this is like a very interesting branching conversation we just had. But like, I think the one bad thing about Twitch, though, like if you go in some category, like it's a really popular game, there are people streaming, but then it's so oversaturated. Then, like you, like the person that's all the way at the bottom of the list, no one's gonna really go and watch that person when you have maybe like some big people playing. You know, the game is popular and they watch them.
Especially if there's like an event or drops or something.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Like, it's one of those things. But I think the one thing about Kick is that the category is usually small. So, like, there's not many people in the category. And then, like, you just can go and see, like Like here, just let me just. I'm just curious. Let me just go look real quick, just to
I think
see.
like I was like, oh, I want to watch some Warzone gameplay, and I went to like the Warzone 2 or whatever, and there was like maybe 10 people in it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, like in this one podcast, we have 83 viewers, 289 followers. Currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 streams that are in the category podcast. We are number 2 currently.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so like it's one of those things where like Kick is mostly streamers, that's true, and Kick is a lot of smaller audience, but literally it's like you'll be able to find something like if you're gonna watch. I know the UI is definitely is a carbon copy of Twitch for sure. It's just like I mean the code is still different slightly.
I like that though. Like I know it's like a lot of people complain about that, like with what is it, Streamlabs versus like OBS.
Yeah,
or not Streamlabs. Is that
what
it
mean?
is?
Yeah, Streamlabs and then OBS.
Yeah, so like everyone always, harps on the stealing of OBS stuff by Streamlabs, but when you get used to looking at something, you want to see that. So I get why they did that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes definitely sense. A lot of things are still like being improved on, added on, and definitely will something will like definitely grow overall. But yeah, definitely if you ever get back to streaming under the man, just gotta like find the time to do so. I know it's kind of hard work and such, but yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, you know how it is. Like some people like, yeah, we have day jobs, but I stream usually at night, so that's usually how I do that and take some days off. And then, but yeah, my UK audience was like, you had to stream earlier because I know a lot of UK people, and like the time zone difference with UK, they're 5 hours ahead of us. So like when
they just have to stay up later.
They have to stay up later, exactly. So, but yeah, it's like it's literally the fact that there's like different people, different time zones, and you can have people, and maybe better for people on the later time zone and the early time zone. I mean, I'm gonna do some Jedi tomorrow, just because like it's a new game. I want to get me the hours that I can into it. So maybe do that tomorrow. But we'll see. But yeah. All right, so that's Hunter. He works in insurance. He wants to still stream. I only picture him as this photo right here because I have never seen him. So to me, you look like the punk Millhouse that's up in that photo right now. But yeah. All right, so
well, I guess I have to buy a new cam.
Oh, you know what happened to your cam?
No, like I have like a cabinet area where I keep like my electronic stuff that's not currently in use. And like my old mic is in there and some like random cords and like my capture card and stuff, but my camera and my like work keyboard and mouse are not there.
Oh, that's interesting. No idea. All right, well, figure it out if you can eventually. I know it was like kind of last minute, but I was like, I'm fine. I'm like the big face here, but you're gonna be like everyone's gonna be like, oh, Hunter is like the little Millhouse. That was right in this corner here. But all right, so all right. I know I talk about movies a lot because movies usually is a thing, and new movies come out and stuff. So I found this list, and I know if you saw it, of movies you love to hate. So like many movies, like necessarily when you watch it, you're like, what is this movie? But after the test of time, you can just like pop it in and be like, it's like a mind-blowing movie, and you can watch it over and over again. And like going through the list, there are some interesting ones. Let me see.
So I have a bone to pick with this list.
Oh, what's the bone? All right.
I shouldn't say most, but a lot of these movies, if someone told me they hated any one of them, I would get very angry with them.
You get very angry with them? Oh, okay. Oh,
like, who hates Grandma's Boy? It's such a good movie.
Yeah? Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up over here. Actually, it's on my other screen. Never mind. So, yeah, great. Grandma's Boy? Let me see. Which one is that one?
Yeah, it's like 16 on the list.
Grandma's Boy. I do not remember this one. Can you what is it about?
So it's about a guy that lives with his grandma and works for like he's a video game tester. But he's like working on his own video game, and it's a comedy. It's like a stoner comedy. I'm really bad at explaining things. I apologize.
That's fine.
But basically, he like throws this house party, and it's great. And then he like gets his game stolen by like the big tech guy, and then he has to like beat him in the game to prove that he made it.
Oop, I had a Chrome over my window. Hold on. Say last part again. Sorry.
His game ends up like getting stolen.
Oh, and, like,
okay. He tries to pass it off as his own, so Grandma's boy has to beat him in the game to prove that he made it.
Ah, okay.
But I think it's his grandma that does it.
Alright, let me pull the list up so we get some visuals for the folks that are watching. Let's see if that works. There you go. Alright, there you go. It says in the bottom corner of the screen. Let me scroll down. So we're talking about this one, Grandma's Boy, 2006. So yeah, I think is it rewatchable though? Let me just put it that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like if you like Pineapple Express type movies, I would say, definitely if you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out.
Okay. So One Bone to pick the list. So it's a good movie. There's no sequel though, right? Nothing came out afterwards. There's like kind of one and done. I think that's what this list is mostly about. It's like, it's literally, if you go through this list, like the last movie that's in this list, like, did they ever come up with a Venom sequel? I don't know if they did.
They did, yeah. There's, what was it?
Carnage. It was Carnage though. It wasn't Venom.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So definitely it wasn't literally a Venom sequel. I meant, was the movie terrible? Yeah. Was it comedic with Tom Hardy? Probably yes. But
it was not what I would have wanted from a Venom movie.
Okay. That's about it. It's like not what you would want from a Venom.
I mean, that's it.
That's it.
For a Venom movie, I would definitely want like darker.
Yeah, I imagine. Like, I think like that could lead us into, where is it?
Which is what I'm really worried about with the new. Okay, so one movie that isn't on this list that is one of my guilty pleasure love to hate movies.
What is it?
Spawn.
I could see that. I think the visuals, yeah.
Visually, it was terrible.
Yeah.
The story wasn't very great. But I love it. I'm a huge Spawn fan. Always have been, always will be, and I do love that movie.
Oh, there you go.
It's not good.
It's not good. I feel like it's one of those things where you watch the movie and you're like, that was entertaining, but then you think about it, that wasn't really a good movie. And that's where
the scene where he goes to hell and like like CGI and stuff is just so bad.
Yeah.
Like even for the time, it was just really bad.
True. But that kind of leads us to, because Spider-Man 3 had a kind of like a connection part to Venom slightly, but I'm like, it was a train wreck of a movie. Like literally, like just
like that's people absolutely hated watching Tobey Maguire dance. And I get it. That was not pleasant to see. But as a whole, I mean,
for an action Spider-Man film, yeah.
Yeah, and though superhero movies up until like the MCU were never really given what they needed to be successful, I guess. Spider-Man, the trilogy as a whole, I guess, is kind of an exception to that because it was so big and so popular. I don't know what happened with that third one. They just took some big swings and they missed real bad.
They missed real bad. I think they were like trying to lean into the Sinister Six kind of thing, but I guess that never took off either. So
yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like then we got the Amazing Spider-Man, and then Deadly went for two, and then now we had the Marvel Spider-Man. So this intellectual property has gone on repeat many, many, many times. But man, I'm like three was still action filled and good to watch. But I'm like, I don't know how they would have continued past that at all.
I would be curious to hear your ranking of the Peter Parkers.
The Peter Parker. Ooh, it's a good one. I mean, like these Peter Parker story. I still think Tobey Maguire would be the top one. Yeah. Um, Andrew Garfield, and then Tom Holland. That would be how I ring him. How would you ring him?
See, personally, it it's really tough, but okay, so top two is really tough.
Okay.
Um, but I'm gonna put Tom Holland at, at number one because I think as Peter Parker, he's by far the best. He's like an actual like acrobat and stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
he looks the part, he plays the part well. Um, and then Tobey Maguire, and I think Andrew Garfield was a mistake.
That was a mistake entirely. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know that's a very strong opinion, and a lot of people disagree with me,
Mm-hmm.
but I personally hated that whole series.
Oh, nobody makes why I put Tom Holland at the lowest level. I mean, he does a good performance, but like I feel like his story is almost like a reflection of the other two. So like, it doesn't seem like I mean I know Spider-Man. You only can do so many variations of Spider-Man before it's like it comes to be like the same material over and over again. But it's just like for his Spider-Man, it's just like it just seems like the some of the same beats were taken, and
Yeah,
like that's like any movie that comes out now, like even Star Wars, they're taking the beats from the last trilogy, and for story beats, and like I don't know, I'm excited to see where Spider-Man will go after the last movie for Tom Holland,
well, I
but I
was
don't
reading
know.
that he wants to be done with it.
He wants to be on with it. Oh,
Yeah, which was very sad for me. I guess him and Zendaya are getting real chummy, and he wants to like try out the family thing,
oh okay.
which is
Hmm.
cool, totally respectable, but like, come on,
Mm-hmm.
I need more Spider-Man in my life.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, we'll see how the Marvel movies and those everything progress going forward for sure. But the other thing at this list, let's see, that I was looking. I got two things. So like, I think one of the ones. So Tron, the Tron Legacy, like many years after the first Tron movie, this movie comes out. Like it's almost you could probably almost compare this to Top Gun, because like the span of how long it took for the first movie to come out, then the second movie. But then
Right.
I don't know. Like, did Tron Legacy kind of follow the same beats as the first movie too?
It's like they were doing a reboot but trying to make it not a reboot, and
Yeah.
I think the movie was pretty unnecessary.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
because comes. Yeah, I imagine. I feel like it comes back to the intellectual properties, like because we are one generation and like some like watched movies when we were kids, and then the only reason they can bring them back is to reboot them, but use the same story beats as previously, and it's not a creative process. Like, there's not many new stuff that I've seen come out recently that has like been original. I think like everything. I think Hollywood and everyone's like are still grasping at like. Have you ever watched Star Trek or the Picard series at all, Hunter? No.
Oh, Picard is great.
Yes. Did you watch it to the end?
Yes.
So like, do you feel like just bringing back all the characters 20 or 35 years past when they started their first series? That was like nostalgia, right? In a bottle, uncapped, and like like for anyone at our age that watched the series when we grew up, it was like, oof, that's
Oh,
good to see.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they did it well. And
Yeah.
that's I was just talking about this the other day. Because I went to well, I guess it was yesterday, but I went to go see that new Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Um Evil Dead Rise, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
I love the Evil Dead movies. I love the show. I love the musical. And that's one that like I don't know if it's not meant to be like great, but it's all around good, you know?
Right.
Like that's one that they just keep pumping out the IP for that is consistently decent. And I feel like the things that they could continue that are like worth watching or worth having a following usually end pretty soon. And then the things that are just subpar or just flat out garbage
Mm-hmm.
get way too much like life support.
Oh yeah, yeah. What about the Scream? I know I talked about this last week, but the Scream series, they're up to number
6.
6. Yeah, 6 is coming out.
Yeah, I 6
Oh.
was pretty good, but yeah, I don't know.
Exactly. All right, so that's the movies, like the movies you love to hate and stuff, but necessarily, like I feel like, well, okay, let me kind of bookend this. Out of the movies on the list, or maybe a movie that you already have personally, which one would you love to see a sequel that hasn't shown one yet?
Okay, so it's not on the list. And I feel like movies that you love to hate and guilty pleasure movies are very different.
Mm-hmm.
But a movie I would love a sequel to would be Mallrats.
Jerry, did you say Fast and the Furious? It needs this. I love its sequels. All right, but yeah, Mallrats. Wait, wasn't there a sequel? There wasn't a sequel to Mallrats, was it? Was there? No, because it was just Clerks and Clerks 2, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we've got Clerks, Clerks 2, and I think they're working on 3.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, Jay and Silent Bob, and then the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't know. I would think the one I would love to see, and I know Keanu Reeves would love to do it again, John Constantine.
Oh, yes.
That was a good movie.
Constantine
Like,
is great.
yeah, just the way like does his struggle and everything, and the character portrayal. Like the portrayal of John Constantine that was on Legends of Tomorrow. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really do it for me. Like I think Keanu's representation of his character there, that would have been a great sequel if ever it comes to it. If anyone out there,
The
sequel to
TV
Constantine.
show Constantine is definitely more like comic book Constantine.
Yeah.
Um, but I liked the take that they had on the movie one, and I definitely would have loved for them to like dive deeper into that universe.
True. Very true. Hi, same here. Agree. All right, so there's a part of the section of the podcast that you don't know is Ask Me Anything question. We're missing a person, so it's only just me ask you or you ask me. So since I'm the host, Hunter, you could ask me a question.
Perfect.
T was a purpose to. Go ahead.
I have a couple for you.
Oh, you have a couple for me? Okay.
So you're a streamer, you have a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you've been on the internet for a while.
I have.
Since you've started putting content on the internet, how has that changed like your view of it, if at all?
Let's see. Since putting it out there, it's definitely a ways to like there's ways to kind of like get yourself known more. And like I think I've started to look at it more like, like maybe do a short or do some kind of smaller content. The podcast is a really big content. It's very hard to ingest. So that's why like audio and video goes on 2 different platforms. But I think it's just like knowing like to what kind of content you can put out there, like who your audience is, and like I look at it more like now like like provide that space, and then someone may come up and say, hey, what you're doing, like ask your questions and like provide banter. So I feel like it's more of like a way to like get to know people that you wouldn't really normally meet if you're walking down the street or out on the, or went to the club or something, like just like a way for someone to come in, kind of like lurk, and then like, oh, said something interesting, like put their 2 cents in, and always the case. But
Yeah, like a broader range to meet new different kinds of people.
yeah, exactly. Like I met a couple
I
of people in
like
the
that.
UK,
That's
so
good.
it's always fun. Like I know a lot of my good friends, they're streamers, are UK based, so I know them. But yeah, it's definitely a good way to network and meet new people. And like the only reason even why I did that was just because of COVID, and like sitting at home on COVID, you couldn't really do anything but stream. But I think that fad is now
Yeah.
getting to the point where like all the COVID streamers now realize like there's so much work you have to put into this and like to morphing. So now they're like starting to slowly like die off that way. But I still think it's a good way to network and meet new people and meet streams. And like I think the one fun thing that Kick still needs to do that I haven't done yet is the interactiveness like that you can have with a streamer on Twitch. You can't really have yet on Kick. Like you can give them subs if they have some incentive for like something on Kick right now, but like push a button, tell the person to hydrate, push a button, tell them that they need to do squats or push-ups, or and like that kind of like sense of control. It's
Oh
kind
yeah.
of it's kind of fun where you have to make someone do something, but then you never have that like you can sit there and watch TV and be like engrossed in the story and everything, but you never have that interactability where you can like force someone to do something maybe they don't want to do. Like my one friend was like, "All right, 100 subs, I reset my account." He reset his account. All right, so it's like, could I figure out like for Tarkov? Like he had to reset his account from level 57 to 0, and I had to start over again. So like, but then like next goal was like cross-dress stream, and like literally slowly got to that point, and then he did a cross-dress stream while playing the game. so like like this things where incentive, like I feel like just being on there, like there's that interactability, and like you can actually interact with what you're watching rather than just sitting there and be a passive. I'm not saying anything bad about the lurkers and everything that's sitting there, but just being like a passive in there, you get the opportunity to be involved, or you don't, you just sit back and just take it all in.
Yeah, I the channel redemptions definitely bring a fun interactability, if that's a word, to the
Mm-hmm.
streaming.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my thought. Wait, do you have multiple questions, or you wanna? We'll come back to your second question later if you want, if you have another one.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we'll come back to that, and so we'll keep rolling because there's like 3 times to ask questions, and we don't really have any. No, third person. Oh, my 2 questions are the same. I was gonna. Okay, I'll think of something different for Genshin later because I don't have any feelings. But upcoming video game releases, we talked about it. Let me bring up. So one of the video game releases that are played, we'll bring up a trailer for all the people that probably have never seen this or heard of this. Not Genshin. Well, dang, Jamie. I know Jamie's a big Genshin. Gonna roll in his grave about it. But let me pull up one trailer. So like the Jedi trailer. Let me see if I can pull that up. And hold on. Let me turn the volume down because it's gonna be super loud. And let me cut the music for a second. But all right, so let's watch. See, you can see us in the bottom corner of my screen. Hopefully the sound will come through. But the Jedi just Savara came out today.
It's been a long 5 years.
It sounds so epic even in the trailer. Hmm.
Never get enough Star Wars.
You're never gonna get enough Star Wars. Yeah.
Fear and mistrust rule the galaxy.
I was playing it early tonight, but I'll play it again tomorrow.
Into the fire. It will warm you. Keep you company.
I've got a hot take on this game.
But let
Oh, you do? Okay.
it will consume everything until there is only ash.
How could you let the galaxy fall to this unworthy machine of an empire?
Hope may feel beyond our grasp. But I think we finally found somewhere the Empire can't reach us.
Imagine. No more looking over your shoulder.
A place that's worth fighting for. No matter the cost.
I have no idea where that place is, but I will find out. Alright, so that released today. Let me get rid of the Chrome window again. Alright, so what is your hot take on this game? Go.
So, I have never played a Jedi Fallen Order and I don't plan on playing this one.
Mm-hmm.
The games felt like Soulsborne-esque to me.
Okay.
And I'm just not into those kinds of games. But I think it's a refreshing and probably necessary shift in momentum for like the Star Wars gaming universe.
Oh, campsite? Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so you think it's going to be good for the... Yeah, I can see that.
Like, because everybody wants to be a Jedi, but I know, at least in my experience...
Have you seen this tattoo right here? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's... Skywalkers are getting a little old.
True.
Like, there's so many more Jedi out there. And, like, it's nice to see something not entirely based around the Skywalkers, even though I know the first one, Vader, was a thing.
Yeah, definitely true. Yeah, because I think just around the Skywalkers and everything, it's literally like that's Star Wars. But it's funny though. Like Mark Hamill's been tweeting. Let me see if I can find some. Mark Hamill's been doing a lot of funny tweets because of the game coming out, and I saw a TikTok too. Let me see if I can look his tweets up real quick. Hold on. I don't think if I follow Mark Hamill, I should go follow Mark Hamill. What am I doing in my life? Follow. Okay. Alright, let me see. Maybe make this a little bigger because it's a tiny for stream because you can't see it. Alright, so let's see. Oh yeah, so this is a big TikTok here. Alright, let's watch this real quick. Just to see how hold on, I gotta pause this again. Just to see what's going on here. I saw this on TikTok.
Remember, just feel it.
All right.
You're on Kobo. The Mogul Wampa thing is coming. You're not scared. Show me focus. Good. You're not playing baseball.
Right.
You will take me to the senator now.
You'll take me to the senator
No
now.
less risk.
Mark, you know I don't actually have the Force, right?
I love it.
BD1 says no excuses. Hold it. You get 2 lightsabers?
Oh, technically one, but I can split them.
Oh.
You never gave me 2 lightsabers.
Ooh, 2 lightsabers.
He's angry?
Yeah.
Duck. Okay, now use your Force powers to pull that sphere.
I really don't need you to explain the Force to me.
There you go. But here, let me see. Hold on. Oopsie. I don't know if he's done any more. Maybe not. No, just that one. I think that was the only one I saw that was from that. But yeah. But it's very interesting to get Mark Hamill to kind of like chime in on the new game coming out. So but yeah, I'm excited. So Jedi Survivor has been on my list. I know Dead Island 2 came out, and I'm not so sold on Dead Island 2. I don't know, maybe because like the zombie genre. I don't know if you I am like I feel like the zombie genre has been like drawn out.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, so I'm not such a big fan, but you're a big fan. For you, let's see. We'll look at because I know we were talking about it before to come on the podcast, but Diablo 4.
Oh yes, Diablo.
So let me go see if I can find a trailer for the people. Wait, is there a trailer somewhere? Trailer.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to give like a blood warning or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Is there a short trailer? There's like, these are really long. It's like 5 minutes.
I think the announcement trailer.
Yeah, so
There's like a shortened version of the like intro to the game, but I think even that's probably like a minute and a half.
Okay, hold on.
2
Let's
minutes.
see. Let me see if I can find one.
My favorite thing about Blizzard is how much work they put into their cinematics.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is 2
Like,
minutes.
they
Diablo
put
4.
out
Wait, Diablo 4 cinematic release trailer? Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. Is that not one?
So that might be it. How long is that one?
Oh, 3 minutes.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Okay. Alright, go ahead. Finish your thought first, and then I'll build up.
So for like World of Warcraft and Diablo and like Overwatch, they put out animated cinematics like in the game and outside of the game, and they're always like Hollywood movie quality, and it's I love it.
Nice. Alright, let's watch this real quick. Let's see. That's Blood and Gore. Forewarning.
There we go.
So being as a cinematic trailer is just kind of like trying to show it as it would be like a movie.
I think they're just kind of like flexing how well they can make an animated short.
Oh, right. Yeah. Is it supposed to be free or no? No, it's not, right?
No, this will be a one-time payment thing.
Got you. It's gonna be like Lord of the Rings vibes. A little bit.
I just don't understand why they haven't made a full-length movie yet.
Movie, yeah. They could. Ooh, Blood and Gore right there. Oh, there you go. Ooh.
I have returned to hell.
Ooh. So on this, I have returned to hell for you. Okay. But yeah, that looks like a very interesting game. I think is there a big base for Diablo?
Oh yeah, Diablo has a pretty large following.
Nice.
I mean, there were people who were playing Diablo 2 even through Diablo 3 being released, which came out like, I don't know, 20 years after the second one.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Interesting indeed. But yeah, definitely some of the games that are coming out excited, I think. What was the other one? I saw another one on the list. I was looking earlier. Let's see. I was excited for Star Wars, and that's already here. But Let me see what else is coming out.
I've
So
been way
May
too focused
on
on the
Diablo.
games that I've been playing.
Yeah.
Haven't really been paying attention to what's coming out.
Looking at the list. I mean, Street Fighter 6 is coming out in June. I don't
You
know.
a big fighting game fan?
No, not really. Final Fantasy 16? Is that new?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That comes out in June too. They're doing an expansion of the Elder Scrolls. That's coming out in June. Amnesia. There's a new Amnesia. The Bunker. It's
Ooh,
coming out
the
in
Amnesia
May.
games are good.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that one game that still is kind of like keeps getting pulled back. Is the the day after, like that zombie survival. I know it's another zombie survival game, but I mean like the way it looks, like with all the previews, it looks interesting to play for sure.
I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest fan of like survival games, like The Forest and Myst and games
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
I'm bad at them. I'm too impatient to like survive.
Same. Like Rust and 7 Days to Die. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I like the mix of like first person shooting games I play and then sometimes the occasional story game. Like I did like a free game that was on Epic. It was called like Amigos, but it was very short. Like it's only like maybe 2 hours long, but it's like a story based game. And like you're going through the stories and like listening to this guy trying to I guess get out of his job with the like I figured out it was the mafia by the end of the thing, but like just trying to get them off. Like some short games are good, to play, and like people play Warzone, Apex, Genshin, all those fun games, but then like it's kind of the same beats over and over and over, and not much
Yeah.
changes.
Especially those
Yeah.
FPS ones. It's just the same
yeah.
game with a different skin.
Well, Genshin, I did try playing it, so to update that, I did try playing it a couple of times, and it was like, I don't know how to progress the game forward. And like Venus was just like, just gotta go and do stuff, explore here, go here, do whatever you want to do. And I'm just like admire the scenery and then get to the story. I'm like, okay, but I think you and me probably run the same boat. As like, we need an objective, we need a goal, we need to know what we're doing. We can't just go and explore.
Genshin has a lot of exploration. Like
Yeah.
I got into it to play with my sister. It's kind of confusing. And you have to like swap between people, which was
Oh yeah,
a really weird
that was weird
concept to me.
dynamic to me too.
And because like I've played World of Warcraft since like year 2, so like I'm used to one character, with my typical rotation and all of that, and then like, so that was a big adjustment to me, swapping and like having to worry about elements and things like that.
hmm
But then like parts of the story for progression, you have to like complete other quests, of course. But
Right.
it doesn't really like give you like a full breakdown of how to get the quests that you need to move
Exactly.
forward. So
Exactly.
it's like now I got to do research and like
Mhm.
find this quest line and
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
There's so much in that game.
Very true. Very true. I feel like it's just like some of those games, like you would have to invest time. But I always felt bad when I ever played like The Sims or like some game where like you were building a city and like you get to the point where like you got the busy built and you get to like or the Sims like lies or like that extravagant and then you look at the time you're like 4 hours have passed since I started this. So and like you're so engrossed in it and like you're like, well, what do I do now? Like it's almost like I see people like I've tried Grand Theft Auto RP for a little tiny bit, but then like just watching the games, like I feel like for streaming purposes, the only reason why I was ever like backed out of like because Winter was doing Grand Theft Auto RP for a bit I was just like, I would just back out and be like, whenever she streamed and just like entice her to like cause chaos. Cause like it's literally like Grand Theft Auto is roleplay and like you can find stuff and do things. But like half the time it's like it's kind of like just like you're sitting there and like nothing's happening. And like
but Grand Theft Auto was like, let's see how many stars we can get and whether we can get away from the cops.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel watching some of the streams like it was just kind of like, well, they're criminals and they want to, you know, like there's an epic storyline that she never really like expanded that storyline as much because like it's a lot of it is like playing like really late at night and like I don't know. I just feel like just to commit to that and do a stream where you want to do a stream, but then you do a stream like in the morning and you come on and like there's not much happening because everyone's like at work. So you have to like aim for streams like at night where people are off work and on the server doing stuff. So like things could happen, things could not happen, and that's feel like that's the unpredictability about roleplay. Like you never know. And then like can you actually stream that? Like you could, but then you have to also then be chasing content or planning content, and that would cause that would be so much more work to do for that, and I would not like have the time to put into that. Yeah, I know some people that if are listening or watching to do Grand Theft Auto RP, my hats are off to you, or Red Dead Redemption, or one of the other many RPs out there. It's just like one of the things like for people with day jobs, it's very hard to devote that time to it. I'm not saying that not, but if you can't do it, more power to you. So
like, I thought this like the main like story or campaign or whatever it's called for Grand Theft Auto was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But when I played it at first, like majority of the multiplayer was just like races, and I didn't care for that at all. So I didn't put much time into the multiplayer, but I know they have like the heists and things like that now. And I like the idea of the RP. That's really like that's a cool option.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, it's a lot of time invested, especially for a streamer.
Yes, exactly, for a streamer and content creator for that, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but it's one of those interesting things. Like it can be really fun, but it can also be very, 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 very time consuming at the same time, for sure. Sure, yeah. But all right. So let me see. Category wise, where are we at? Time wise, we're about 52 minutes. All right. So I guess it kind of ropes into. Well, we'll just kind of summarize with the Genshin. We already talked about it, so we'll just do my. You can do your second AMA question. No, actually, I'll do mine. I'll leave yours to last. I don't know if I have a quick. See if I have a question. So, can we? Let's see. Can we? I'll want to recap because like everyone has like 6 degrees of separation and everything, and like people usually meet people through other people. Can you recap how did we come across each other? Like, when was the first time you came across my stream, or do you remember? How did you get to know me, or like?
I think I remember. I might have this backwards, but I think I was raided into a Bubbles stream, and then raided into your stream. And I think that's how I ended.
That's how you just discovering me.
Yeah. Okay. And I was like, oh, there's a lot going on here, but it's not like too much, you know?
It's not too much.
And it was your streams are always fun to watch. They're you know, and then I think it was around the time when you when you were doing that Quarry stream.
Oh yeah, car stream with Tim. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I accidentally ruined a no-kill game.
True. Yeah, the one that used chat control based. Yep. Yeah. I remember. So that's what I remember. I think I remember that's where you showed up from. Because I think I was like, wait, is this from Tim's stream? And then you just like ran the show, started talking, and I think I somehow chased you back in Bubbles. So I guess like the reverse happened where I found you from you were in Tim's stream, and then slowly when I was in Bubbles stream, like, hey, you're here too now. So we just gotten to know each other in reverse fashion. This is what I like about Twitch, though, or any kind of streaming online thing. Like, you would meet people that you normally would never meet in real life. So, like, you just come across people and you're like, you know, like we never cross these people like walking down the street or shopping at the supermarket. Like you only come across them online, and that's the fun thing about online communities is that you don't have to be living in the same place, living in the same area. You can be anywhere and still have friends. Say live in Buffalo, New York, or Georgia, or San Antonio, Texas. All over, and you still see them once in a while. So yeah,
I mean that extends into like video game or any other like online community. Like two of my best friends, I met them like we were in a guild in World of Warcraft, and we became pretty fast friends. And like a couple years before COVID, we actually my friend Shane and I flew out to our friend Julian's place in Florida, and we all met up, got to hang out and meet each other in person. That was really cool. And that mean, never would have happened without
Warcraft. Exactly. Exactly. Like I feel like all the friends I met either were people I worked with or knew, and online friends I've known now many people for over a year now, just because of streaming and just putting yourself out there in the community just to meet and get to know people that you would never have met in real life, which is always a cool thing.
Yeah, and then Shay and Badger from one of the Discords. I believe you know them. I met Badger through that buddy Shane. We started playing D&D together, and then I met Shay through him. I met Shay through Badger, and that's it never would have happened without the internet.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's one of those things people take for granted, people online, and then this day and age, online gaming, Discords, Twitch, Kick, all the services, there's ways to you can go and watch, open a category on someone's stream, and then just hop into there and just start chatting with someone you would never met in person, and they're playing a game maybe you like or something you're interested in, and you sit there and watch, take the content in, and become part of their lives, even though and that's what streaming I feel does for me, kind of just gives me that kind of connection, to people that I would never really normally see. And since I work from home, I see rarely anybody because work from home, you don't get to leave, only leave the house to go to the store. And I do have
people don't just show up at your house to meet you while you're working from home.
No, never you.
How weird.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So I'm just. Oh, I think my headphones are about to die. Hopefully, we'll. I keep hearing the doo. My headphones are hang on, let me plug them in real quick. Let's see.
Are those Mandalorian headphones?
They are Mandalorian headphones.
That's awesome.
Yes. Here, hold on. Let me plug it in real quick. And see if my audio doesn't disappear on me. Okay, so good. Yeah, can you see it from this side?
Oh, that's so cool. Is that the Dark Saber?
Yes, Dark Saber, and then this side.
And then the Mud Beast?
The Mud Beast, yeah. Yeah, these are detachable too, so I don't know why you would take them up, cool. But they're detachable. And then they have a little where you can put the mic. I can hook the mic up or disconnect it. I don't have the mic hooked up, but it has a detachable mic. They were expensive. Just to give you the honest opinion, they were expensive. But
were they worth it?
They were worth it. They were definitely worth it.
Well,
so
that's all that matters.
And the funny thing, I think if I can't pull it off because it's the Bluetooth. I can't see if there's a symbol on it. But I thought there was a GoPro symbol on it, but maybe not. But yeah, Mandalorian headphones. But yeah, so yeah, definitely meeting people online was a definitely interesting thing. And this is one thing, I can't comment. But let's see. Where was it? Yeah, but we have one more topic, and then we'll go into your last question. So the one thing that I came out recently, and I'm so happy, and I don't know if you're happy, was the Power Rangers 30th anniversary.
I've been dreading this topic.
You've been dreading this topic? Why?
So, I loved Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was my entire childhood. Yeah. I had the VHS with the silver or the White Ranger on it.
Oh, yeah.
It was the White Ranger, I believe. That was like constantly on. Well, I mean, of course, with like Rugrats and stuff.
Right.
The orange cassette tape. Oh, cassette. God. So I didn't watch it because I didn't want it to spoil my fond
Spoil your
memories.
fond of there?
Like,
can I put that?
I know in my heart that the show was terrible, the acting was bad, the fight choreography sucked, but
Yep.
in my memories, it was amazing.
It was amazing. All right. Well, let's show the trailer real quick for anyone who has not seen it, and just the trailer. So there's no spoiling of the actual movie, or it was not a movie. It's like an hour-long special. But let's watch this real quick.
After all these years, I found a new body.
Wait, Repulsa?
No, it can't be.
It's time for revenge.
She killed Mom. We got
Have you seen the trailer, Elise, or no?
Yes,
Okay, make sure I know this is why for you.
it hit all the nostalgia.
Yeah.
Zorda makes you rangers.
We gotta make sure Rita doesn't hurt anybody else.
Attention, Power Rangers! Get to your assigned stations now.
Once a ranger,
Always a ranger.
It's morphin' time.
Your Moon Rangers.
You wanna fight? You found one.
You got this. Good luck. Now it's a reunion.
30 years in the making.
Place was a big mistake.
No way, you haven't seen it. This is the 30th anniversary of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Don't worry.
Once and always.
Once and always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them are dead, though, aren't they?
Correct. Wait, hold on. Let me try to be clear. Correct. You're correct, Hunter. Two of
I
them are.
mean, to be honest, they're a couple years late on that reunion.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, yes, Jason David Frank and Tui Trang. Tui Trang died way many years ago in a car accident, and
Yes.
I don't know what's the circumstances of Jason David Frank's. Was it a suicide? I don't know if it was. Can't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember exactly. Something happened to him too, but he also passed recently. There was a ending scene to that where they committed, kind of like, to the two that were not alive. But they did it to, so like not to kind of like, well, that's very spoiler, but the only reason why it's only the two main Rangers and not the other, like they kind of like put it so like they got captured, so like they never take off their helmets. It's like actors in the costumes. So
Right.
that's how they had to get the Green Ranger, the Pink Ranger, and the original Red Ranger in there. But like it was very, like for me watching it was like literally very nostalgia on the point, like the same kind of like, show that I know and grown up with the terrible acting voice lines, the monsters that are like foam, the monster. Literally look at them, you're like, these monsters are just like people in like foam, like whatever suit they mean to look like that. It's just like
Like
it wa-
the super old Godzilla.
yeah, exactly, Super Godzilla
Yeah.
and everything. So like, but yeah, it was a very, very, very good, I think, way to like celebrate the 30th and like give a good send off, because they never get a good send off for Tui Trang. So like the Yellow Ranger original, so it was a good way send off. Yeah, the art of clay tossing. That is exactly true. Kimi says. So but yeah, like the Putty Patrol. The Putty Patrol, that's what they're called. They're literally, like hit them and like explode into many, many pieces. So yeah. But yeah, like it hit all the points. It was very good. Like literally, can you make the Putty Patrol? no, the one line in there, they sound like turkey. So like, if I had a turkey sound, I don't know how it would make that sound. but yeah, but well, I don't know. I'm not gonna try that. Okay, but yeah, it was just like it was the sounds pretty as a kid. Like I would like, you know, like go there like, it's like, you know, it's Morphin time. Like literally, like that was like the show. Like that and that point was that and what other kid shows were at that time? I forget. No, that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I don't think that was a big as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But I don't know how to do it to you. You come in this call and if you want to come in this call, and make the sound for us if you want.
But Ty, you've convinced me. I'll watch it this weekend.
Okay. Cause like it was a good send off and everything. To the Power Rangers, and like it's like, even if you don't, I just watch it for the hip hop Aikido. I totally forgot that was a thing until it was Walter Jones like broke it out and was like doing the hip hop Aikido. But yeah, like
it wasn't enough for Logan to kill my childhood. I'll let this reunion put the final nail in the coffin.
For the show. But yeah, like I mean, like they had to bring up the Rita. The only reason why they did the Rita Repulsa as a robot is because, you know, the main actor has already, I guess, passed away. So that's the way they got around that. Like they were smart, like just the way to get around certain things to explain why things are happening, and then even to like, but then like it's just like to suspense belief that the fact that like all the Power Rangers are technically in this movie still active. So, but you know, it was a fun movie to watch and definitely should watch it. But yeah, that I say it catered to everyone who watched the TV shows when they were a kid, for sure. Just so like to get over that and just to see more of it, like it's updated. But like I was watching, I think I talked this on the last podcast because it's one of the topics that came up. But I feel like they're gonna maybe try to spend maybe more of a young adult, because like, you know, they have the new Power Ranger who's technically like well, not a spoiler, because like it's kind of like, you know, like they killed Mom and she's the only like relative to the yellow Power Ranger. Not a spoiler. Like she doesn't become the yellow Power Ranger, but maybe they'll use that to spin off into like another young adult series for Power Rangers. You never know.
But they tried to keep Power Rangers alive, but nothing will be as good as Mighty Morphin.
Oh yeah, no. I think it's even like just like the shows now these days are like they keep churning out the next series. I did see the new Power Rangers movie. All right, let's
Bryan Cranston.
The Bryan Cranston one, yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on that, Hunter? I'll let you go first.
I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah. I'm really weird when it comes to movies. Like, I'm really quick to judge certain types of movies and, you know, just certain movies in general. But, like, I don't think bad movies are bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see that. Like, I always view a movie as also being entertaining. If it's a bad movie,
yes,
it's like, you know, like, it's a bad movie. But, like, if you watch it and you are entertained and you come out of the movie like, that was a fun movie, like, would you ever watch it again? Probably not, but, you know, it was a fun movie to go see the first time.
Yeah, I mean, if you got any sort of entertainment or took anything away from it, or it like made you think even a little bit, like, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Okay, maybe not a good movie, but it wasn't.
No. it wasn't terrible.
All bad.
Yeah. I think just the movie itself, the live action, the way they took it is kind of like a more darker. Like, it's not like the kids' Power Rangers that we growing up to enjoy and love, and it's more of a darker tone to it. And that's probably another movie I would say if they ever got back in a sequel, because like they literally left the table on that movie for the Green Ranger, the new Green Ranger to appear. But like having the way like Rita was a Ranger at one point, Zordon was a Red Ranger, and then, you know, all that. Like, I feel like it was still an interesting story. Was it a bad movie? Yeah, but still, it was like still paid homage to Power Rangers
There's
and
potential for the series.
Yeah, that's true.
They made more than one G.I. Joe. They can make more than one
They want Power
Rangers.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so you're almost at that time, but Hauser, what is your second AMA question of the night?
Okay, so it's also kind of stream related.
Okay.
You put a lot of work and thought and creativity into your streaming, your content creation, your podcasting, all of that. Do you get a chance to do that with your job or your hobbies or anything else you like do outside of this?
Outside of this? No. Maybe? I don't know. It doesn't seem like, I feel like this takes up a lot of time and energy, and I kind of got into the mode. And it all seems like, yeah, right, it does seem like a second kind of job, but I enjoy it. My current job is kind of like, I have stuff to do. Sometimes I'll be busy. Sometimes it'll be like not as creative this, so I don't have that kind of creative outlet as I would here. Because like, and literally my outlet there really just like for a job would be like programming, and that's not as entertaining or enjoyable, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, unless you like give yourself like a project, like you try making a game or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because like for this job, it's like lab interfaces, so it's like necessarily like literally I have to, the objective is get the message from here to change it whatever way I need to, and then get it down to where I need to go. So like it's just like passing things through. I don't know. I don't think I've ever had any. Like I did photography for a little bit, but that takes time because you have to go somewhere to take pictures. I love taking pictures at new places and such, and I never actually planned it. Like one time I might need to like plan with some people, like, all right, let's go, get dressed up and do some kind of like shoot somewhere because I just want to practice my skills more. Because that's always, because I've been told I have a very photogenic eye. Like I can look at things and like take pictures of like candid moments or like pose people and do stuff for them in pictures.
So you I don't know photography terms, but like posed or like people photography over like scenic photography.
Most of mine not has been scenic, but like if I had to do an event or something or take pictures at like a party, candids are really fun because like you can just kind of like go around and take pictures of people and like doing different moments, and like scenic ones are also interesting, but like they're not as like, I mean, scenic is like probably my second tier to it, but doing like events, like I did like maybe one or two weddings back in the day, and like it's just very funny to still watch. But I'm a very people person, like watching. Like if I ever go to the mall, sit at the mall and just watch people walk around, you can just imagine, like what they're doing, what their story is, and like, so
make up little lives for them.
Yeah, make a little lives for them. So yeah, I definitely like that for sure too. But yeah, like even that and other things. But yeah, I don't know. This has kind of been on and off, like what energy has gone into and the stuff, and like I don't know if I ever could like just like end cold turkey. I could probably drop off the face of the planet, no one really notice, but like it's literally just like,
that's not true.
Okay, but people would notice if I didn't be on stream anymore. But it's just like I've been doing it for so long. It's just kind of like
this has overtaken your
it's overtaken everything.
To give yourself for hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. Like I did change my shower head the other day, and I'm still trying to negotiate the shower where like it's like a rain shower, but then like there's a little connection where the water comes in and like it's spewing water back over to the wall. I was like, yeah, I need sorry, I took it apart and put it back together. Like it's like sometimes little projects, like even like I have not gone back to, I was talking about my Tesla trunk opener, which is a third party, and it has not worked properly in the last 6 months. So like some things like that are like daunting. Like I don't want to go in and like And like even here, like I could do this myself, but it never would look like this. But you know, pay someone else to do it. It's always, you know, easier than that. Like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
There's always the case in that. But yeah. But that kind of
like, I'm not a creative person, and typically my laziness outweighs my want to like occupy my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if I can get something done by someone else, I'm gonna get it done by
someone else. There you go. That's almost why, since knowing Winter is like, DoorDash has been like, I pay for DoorDash Pass. Because literally, like, you know, get people to deliver food to your house. You don't have to leave. I become such a, don't care the prices are, yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I become such a homebody at this point. Because, like, you know, you can pay people to come to you, deliver your stuff. You don't have to go out anymore. Yeah. I always dread the fact that every time I went to Taco Bell at the wrong time, I get stuck in this line for at least a good 20 minutes because everyone's gone to Taco Bell through the drive-thru at the same time I went to the drive-thru.
Well, so. Yeah, so I used to be the guy that was like, why would you order food? That's so stupid. Like, why would you have your groceries delivered? That's so dumb. But, you know, with COVID and, again, peak laziness, and now it's like, why would I leave my house just to get food?
Exactly, that's true.
Why wouldn't I just buy something on Amazon?
Alright, so hold on, let's separate this idea. I love delivery service when it's groceries, but you love going out still.
Well, I mean, it's a lot less fun to get drunk at your house, that's for sure.
That is true too. But, Bonzo, you ever seen when you do drunken streaming? I've done it a couple of times, but just like, it's just like literally, I mean, have someone to talk. Maybe just back to streaming, just drunk stream. But yeah, like going out is still fun, and you know, like you have to want to do it and such. But like, I'm slowly just starting to get back into it because like, I feel like my life has been like so like online. So you know, meeting some friends up and like talking to people that are not online all the time. But yeah, it's situational. I don't go out to get drunk at the bar. It's very uncomfortable and expensive. Yes, going to the bar to get drunk is also one of those situations where like something could happen out there too. Like it's a lot safer just being in the comfort of your home too. I don't know.
Again, another thing that COVID changed. Like pre-COVID, I every Friday night, probably pretty close to every Saturday, I was going out, hitting and closing out the bars, and then like going for brunch or whatever. But that hasn't, been as much of a thing.
Yeah, I think people are starting to go out more now.
Yeah,
and, like,
I've been like getting back into like going out to the movies, which has been nice. I love going to the movies.
Same, going to the movies. I think sometimes catching like meals with friends sometimes, like to catch up, and then having got to the point where inviting like some people over to the house for a game night. I used to do game nights back in the day. Oh man, they were fun. Have you played this game? What was it? A game where like you have to like communicate with people. It was called like Submarine or something, where you're like a crew of a submarine. I forget what the name was called of the game, but you have like one person was a navigator, one person was weapons, one person was an engineer, and like you have to talk to people. I miss talking to people and playing games in person. So it's one of those things. But yeah, home is definitely fantastic for drunken next to kids. You don't have to go anywhere. And my bed literally, it's right. I'll hop right across on the other side of my computers. I need some water. Ugh. But yeah, like it's one of those things where, you just take it for granted for so long. All right, so I think we made it to the mark where we usually stop. So it's the end of the podcast. The last thing of the podcast usually is something that's made you happy, made you smile, made something else that you maybe did or watched. I hate every time I do this, I go to the last thing I watched. But Hunter, you can go first. What's something that's make you happy this week?
It wasn't this week, but last week I took a couple like personal days to myself. And I just hung out with my dog on the couch.
Nice.
You know, I took her for walks, and then we caught up on a lot of TV.
Yeah, a lot of TV.
Nice like mental break and just relaxing, which doesn't seem to come very often these days.
That is true. That is very true. I really hate it, but it was like I think even last week it was just like the end of Picard. It was so great. I just watched it, like just the way Terry Matalas kind of like framed the end and like the last scene of it, like mirrored all good things from the Next Generation. It's got a good stand up because like I feel like Picard was the thing we having. The only reason why is because Next Generation got snubbed. Like they had that last movie and then they were like, what happened to them? Like literally the last movie and that was it.
Without spoilers or making this go on too much longer than you want it to, do you think they're setting up for a series for his son?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all you can say. Yes.
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, because like I think Terry Matalas did Star Trek right, and like Discovery, like the fans had to like once Discovery and Captain Pike came on, and Captain Pike was like Anson Mount was so great that all the fans petitioned like they needed to give him a spinoff, and they gave him a spinoff. And Star Trek like Brave New Worlds has been like a refreshing take on Star Trek itself because like it's going back to like exploration and like exploration and encounters and not like a because like Discovery is also good, but Discovery has like this long arching story going on where like
and they got into that whole like what was like haunting him or whatever, and you got to see into that like
oh yeah, you mean for Discovery
about, like spoilers.
Yeah yeah for Captain Pike and everything. Yeah,
you get a
so
lot of background from or for I guess Discovery.
Well, they did say, which is not a spoiler, but they're doing a Star Trek Academy, which is coming out. I don't know when it's coming out though, but they're greenlighting that, and then like after this show, they're gonna have to do something because like the fans are like, there's a big petition for some kind of show to come a spinoff from this, and if you haven't watched it, you would not know what we're talking about. But they could literally spin off the how Picard ended, but it was so great. The ending of Picard.
I never understood the need to choose between Star Wars and Star Trek.
I never do. I like both.
If you're a true geek, true nerd,
you like both. Yeah,
you find time to get into both for sure.
Yeah,
and I love how much Star Trek they've been just absolutely pumping out.
That's very true. That's very true. Like Star Wars has been kind of like comparable doing the same, but I feel like the Mandalorian's pacing this season has been kind of like. Have you watched Mandalorian at all? Let's talk about it.
I know what happens.
Yeah, okay. Well, like the pacing of the Mandalorian hasn't been like as great as Star Trek. Cause like literally Star Trek after one episode of Picard, next episode, and next episode, like it's just taking off. Mm-hmm. Like you want to wait till what the next episode. Mandalorian is kind of like it was like it's slow. It's just like we're slowly progressing. We don't know what's happening, and then like eventually like the Apex episode that thinks shit hits the fan per se, and then now you know what's going on. Like it didn't occur till later on. So yeah. But yeah,
that's my biggest pet peeve with all these Star Trek shows, I guess, or sorry, Star Wars shows, is not much happens until like the last few episodes.
Oh yeah, for sure, that's true. But yeah,
but I really I need another season of Obi-Wan or a Vader show.
But they're
because
gonna do
comic book Vader is incredible.
Oh,
Vader is amazing. I love him.
You're gonna do what is it, Ahsoka? Ahsoka's the next Star Wars thing, right?
I want to see a full power Vader just absolutely destroying everything.
There you go.
And we like very rarely get to even get like glimpses into the badassery that is Vader.
That's Vader. That's very true. Very true. All right, so let's kind of end it here. I know Hunter. Well, if you make it back, you're gonna go back to Kick, right? So you want to find Hunter?
Yes.
Where do you find you? Kick.com/what?
H_Fuller. I'm very creative, and that's pretty much all of my everything.
Yes. All right, let me see here. Definitely take a follow. He's gonna come back eventually once he gets time. There you go. That's a shout out. But yeah,
appreciate that.
No problem. And then we're gonna be back. So I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Some more Star Wars because I'm addicted to Star Wars now. So we're gonna play it tomorrow. Sunday we'll be back with Overwatch, right? Because mobile session should be good, and you should be so good for Overwatch.
I'll be there.
Okay, so that'll be the rest of the week's schedule. So the public asked for a show, but the writers evaded the time. JD. Okay. All right. Let me see who's on. I'm gonna give some love to Miss Conflicted because she is moving full time to Twitch. I don't know if you know her. I think Jamie probably knows her, but she's kind of gonna be doing VR streams, and also so does Warzone. But we're gonna host over there. Let me go end the recording before we head off. So say bye, Hunter. Bye to the recording.
Bye, Ty. Bye, stream. And
bye YouTube. Bye, podcast. Yep,
bye,
everybody.
YouTube. Thank you for having me.
All right, and we are.